This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Hello and welcome to another inspiring episode of A Different Kind of Woman. A different kind of woman is not afraid to think differently. What does it take to succeed? Are successful people clever, hardworking, or just lucky? On today's show, Success Habits, we will discuss this and much more. Joining me is psychologist and agony aunt Dr. Jane McCartney. Welcome, Jane. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm really pleased to be here.
Yes. So what do you consider to be your greatest accomplishment?
Well, I think, Alafia, probably my greatest accomplishment would be becoming a psychologist. It took a lot of time. It took, from the beginning to the end, it took over 14 years, and that included 3 children and one marriage between that. So getting qualified and becoming.
So did you always know you wanted to be a psychologist?
No, not really. No, I kind of fell into it. When I started doing a first degree, I kind of found psychology, or maybe it found me. But that's how I kind of fell into it. And we've had a love affair ever since. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's amazing how you're able to balance your personal life, professional life, everything.
Yeah.
It's good. So Jane, what do you consider to be your greatest accomplishments?
Well, Alibert, I think one of my greatest accomplishments would be becoming a psychologist, becoming a chartered psychologist. It took a very long time. It took over 14 years, but that did include breaks for having 3 children and moving around a bit and things like that. But it was. I certainly did. Yeah, I was determined to, even up until I can remember with one of my children up until actually having them. I was still
how many children do you have?
I've got 3.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so
I know that's a bit of juggling.
It is, yeah. And it's like when you're a student, you don't get maternity leave, so I was kind of straight back in it to do all my studies and things.
So did you always know that you wanted to be a psychologist?
No, I didn't. I'd done many different jobs before I became before I did my first undergraduate degree. So I always liked looking and observing people. One of the jobs that I always talk about that I had was I used to be a croupier in a casino, and if you want to see all human life, that's a really good place to see it, and also in pubs and things. So it was really
it's been a journey to get to this point where
certainly
you are.
has, but I think I took a lot of what I did before with me, which was really, really good.
Yes. So, I think for me, I've been through quite a journey as well.
Yeah.
And when I look back at my accomplishments, I used to think, okay, I did my degree in travel tourism and hospitality. Then I studied mental health nursing. Yeah. And I've done pageants and that sort of thing in the modeling industry. And I thought, okay, these are things that I was proud of. But when I look back, it's like it's been so much of a journey, I would call it. A lot of failures, a lot of mistakes, but I kept going and I learned from them. And having the support of my family made a lot of difference because I'm from the Caribbean and I'm based in London. And it's been a journey getting adjusted to the accents and working life and the food, the culture, everything. But as we learn, it's a journey.
It's never ending. Absolutely, no. I think if you think that you know what you're doing, then that's when the mistakes happen.
Yeah, and you're never too late to learn,
No.
Every day we're learning, but even a few months ago, I just did a course in first aid.
Okay, good. Always handy.
Yeah. So it's always good to keep, doing something to refresh your memory. Because sometimes I think I'm young, but sometimes I'm forgetting things. And I think, okay, I need to keep the brain active as well. Give it a workout.
Yeah, no, totally, absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay, so before we go further into the topic for today about success habits. Let's find out what the people on the street of London think with Priscilla. Have a look.
What makes a person successful or unsuccessful? Is there a pattern to success? According to a new study by Caliper, a talent management firm, many women business leaders share the same characteristics. Successful women shared assertiveness, aggressiveness, empathy, ego strength, stress tolerance, and energy. Research also suggests that positive thoughts can help you build skills that will last much longer than a smile. Negative emotion programs your brain to do a specific action. For example, if you're being chased by a tiger, your brain would focus entirely on that situation and how to escape that tiger. Or when you are stressed out because of so many things you have to do on that day, that you are paralyzed and can't even start anything because you are only thinking on how long your to-do list is. Your brain closes off from the outside world and focuses on the negative feelings such as anger, fear. And when you are like that, you cannot see other options around you. It's like your survival instinct. Psychologist Barbara Fredrickson tested the impact of positivity in our brain. She separated people in 5 groups and showed them different clips, and after that, she asked what would they do in different kinds of situations. Participants who watched images of anger and fear couldn't see many options, while participants who watched images of happiness and joy saw more options, even compared to the neutral group. In other words, when you are experiencing positive emotions, you see more possibilities in your life. There is no doubt that success is a result of achievement. Landing a better job, winning a championship, those things will bring joy to your life. But it doesn't mean that success always brings happiness. Let's find out what the public thinks.
What quality do you believe a person needs to be successful?
So in order to be successful, I believe that passion and determination are 2 key qualities in this. Because if you wanted to do a job that you really inspire to be, there's not something else that would make you want to get up in the morning rather than the passion and determination to obviously bring you up and have that motivation.
I suppose it's ambitions. A person needs ambitions to be successful, and good education helps also to have some prosperity in their life.
I think patience is really important as well, sort of understanding that you need to wait for good things to come around.
I think motivation makes a person successful. Like, if you're not motivated to do something, then like you won't really have any success in it. Like, for example, a test paper, if you're like motivated to get the highest grade, then eventually you will. But if you think you're going to fail, then you end up failing.
How much do you believe the greatest risks have the greatest gain?
You won't know like what the outcome is unless you try, really. So you should try to, push yourself.
I guess you have to take risks in life, don't you? You don't have any choice. You've got to jump in at the deep end sometimes.
Yeah, you don't always know how things are going to pan out, I suppose. So got to jump at things, I guess, when they come around.
Yes, it's a good idea to take risks, and even risks can help you to achieve something to makes you better.
I believe to a full extent that is actually quite true. Because in fact, if you don't take the risks, then why in the first place are you actually trying to do something that could even not prove worthy?
That's it from us in the streets of London, and it's back to you in studio.
Thank you so much, Priscilla. That was so informative. Really appreciate the views from the public. Their opinions really were spot on.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely,
totally agree. So what qualities do you believe makes a person successful or unsuccessful?
Okay, I think I like to. Everything everybody said on the VT there was absolutely right, but I kind of like to put it down to just a little thing, because otherwise, if we have all of those adjectives flying around, you get lost and then you don't go anywhere. So I like to think about goals. That's an important thing, because obviously, and it can be big goals, can be little goals, can be, stuff you want to achieve over a longer time or just short time stuff.
Yes.
I think also focus is really important because, you know, our minds just tend to wander off in other directions, and we need to be able to get back. And also the other thing that I think is really, really important, I think one of the contributors there mentioned as well, that chance of reflection. Because I think if you can kind of take those moments, you can think about what went well, what didn't go quite so well, what do I need to do about that. I think these are all important. And having that kind of little dedicated time, maybe once a day, it doesn't have to be a long time or anything, just to think, what have I done, what can I do? And it really focuses people towards the goals that they want to do. It's kind of like a nice big circle. I like to think about it as like that.
Yes, it's true. And what do you think about hard working?
Hard working's important, but I don't think, you know, very few people get to where they are without hard work. Now, it might be that, you know, a bit like me, I'm a plodder, you know, so the hard work just keeps, you know, has to fit in round other things, but it just keeps. Or you might be sort of like a starburst of a person where you just, you know, spend your entire time doing it.
You seem like you're quite flexible.
Well, you have to be.
Yes.
You do. But but it's, you know, and we have moments where we just suddenly have inspiration and motivation. And when you do, it's important to grab those moments. And even if it is, I haven't got time to really kind of get my teeth into it, but I can write down what those things are that are inspiring me at the moment.
And very often people think that failure, that if you fail at something, like if you start your business and it didn't really take off, you know, they think, okay, well, I'm not going to start a business again. I'm not going to do that again. But very often, you know, you can learn from the mistakes that you made.
Totally. And there's, I think, you know, I've listened to forums and, you know, TED Talks and all the rest of it about people that start successful businesses. And they all say to one, your first business is not going to be your successful business. And it might take a couple down the line because you're learning all the time. So, you know, failure, as painful as it is, and it's a really harsh word.
Always lessons to be learned.
Absolutely, totally, yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to take a short break, but stay tuned and take a look at what's coming up next. Next, business coach and motivational speaker Lydia Amor will be joining us here in the studio.
So you have to include them at the top.
Yes.
I say business without a successful woman in it is no business at all.
No.
Give me a high five for that.
All right. This program is brought to you by UCKG. This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Welcome back on today's show, Success Habits. We've been discussing what makes people successful. Joining us to discuss the topic further is business coach and motivational speaker Lydia Amor. Welcome, Lydia.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Lovely to be here.
Yes. So in your experience, what are the main setbacks that prevent women from achieving their goals?
Okay, it's a really good question.
Yeah.
I found in my career and in my business as a coach, what holds women back is when they're not clear and they haven't got clarity, number one.
Yes.
You know, what is it they're actually going for in the first place? And another one is when they do this comparison thing. Yeah.
They do it all the time as women.
Women do it all the time.
Yes.
I think it's a continuous life lesson not to compare.
Yes.
You know, I think I always say this, comparison is a theft of joy.
Totally.
Well said.
It's a theft of joy.
Yes.
Definitely. And I find another one, which men experience it as well, but you always hear reports on women.
Yes.
This is imposter syndrome. Forever proving these psychological things in the mind. Am I good enough? That's a running thing. I mean, they say in psychology.
It's always, it's you know, we always call it that waiting for the tap on the shoulder moment where you're found out.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think there are three of the habits that I've seen, I've actually noticed that hold women back.
And what about you personally? What experiences do you have that set you back?
That set me back?
Yes.
I would say I've experienced that, that perfectionism.
Yes.
You know, is this good enough? You know, keep going back over it all the time. And I think, as you said, earlier, when you reflect and you take that time to reflect, that's when you can see, oh my gosh, look at what I've done.
Yeah,
I'm all right, actually. And I think it's really important to validate yourself.
Totally.
And be humble. And you can validate yourself and be humble at the same time. And that takes practice. So I'd say, with my experience, honestly, it's about not giving myself too much of a hard time. I think I've happily had, my husband said that to me sometimes, Lydia, you're giving yourself too much of a hard time. And because I've got this drive and this goal, and I am quite very much like that.
You're pushing yourself, and you're self-motivated.
Yes, but it is important to sit back and take stock, because then you can become tired, you can become ill and burnt out, and you don't really want that.
And when you become burnt out, you're no good. No good to yourself or anyone.
Well, the research that was on the VT earlier, that says that you'll get more done if you think positively rather than driving yourself negatively. Absolutely, it's very true.
Why do you believe that there are fewer women in leadership positions than men?
I think that's a really good question. I mean, on my perspective, I'm running my own business. What I found when I actually did work for businesses, well, a lot of the decision, I'll be honest, a lot of the decision makers were these men at the top. And I think it takes a really intelligent man to know that you have to have a balanced boardroom, you have to have a balanced people at the top having different perspective, because you have to think about who are your customers, who you communicating with. Are they all men? Obviously not.
Exactly.
And they say women have the spending power.
Exactly. It's so true. Power. We spend a lot.
Yes, and decision making in the home, they say.
Totally.
Offering that female balance. So you have to include them at the top. I say a business without a successful woman in it is no business at all.
No.
Give me a high five for that. All right. And what do you think, Dr. Jane?
Well, it's interesting. You were making me think that my daughter, she's 13, and she's just becoming very aware of things. And she'll see an advert on the TV for a cleaning product or something like that, and she goes absolutely potty about it. She says, why is it the women are advertised just cleaning things and stuff? And it's the same for business. We are half the buying property. We are half the world. So why shouldn't there be women making, or certainly contributing in a really proper way, respectful way to businesses? The ultimate thing might be, you buy the stuff and we want to see it, but there's something that when it comes to advertising, when it comes to business, businesses thrive an awful lot better when there's women not on board, but actually on the board as well.
So then what qualities do you believe makes a good leader?
I think male or female, the ability to listen, I think, is really, really important. Now, you might not actually be able to act on what somebody says, but to properly listen and to properly validate what somebody may be asking you, one of your employees or customers or whatever it is, that is probably one of the most important things. But again, you know where you're going and what you're doing with. And also, get as much info. If you're not hearing stuff because people are scared of their job, scared, whatever it is, they've got their pension tied up in something, they don't want to do it, then that's not a good business. You need to hear what people at all levels, to the ultimate level of the actual customer need. And you might have to go out and find that, and also find out why is it you're not hearing it. That's another thing.
Well, as we know, we all learn differently. We have different learning styles. So it's something to think about. What works for you? What do you see as the qualities that makes a good leader?
Okay. I mean, when I was...
Because you're a leader in your field.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Okay, I mean, from personal experience and from some of the women that I've met that I've really admired, and men as well, and they have, if you've got compassion, I think compassion for people is really important, actually. And also having a vision, and I keep going on, because they say without vision, the people perish. Okay, there's that phrase. And so a good leader, I think, identifies and knows what their weaknesses are. Okay, I think a really good leader knows what they're really good at and gets in people that fulfill the areas that they may not be good at. And I think that makes a really perfect team. And then you let go you let the reins go. You trust in your team. You trust in your people, and because that empowers them to do more. They serve you better. Not micromanaging. Of course, check in, make sure, be there, but at the same time, step back. It's continuous work. You've got to be there.
It's really hard because some people tend to want to be hands-on. They need to know everything. They want to do everything.
Do you find a difference between men and women? The ability to let go and, you know, let people get on with it?
Yeah, I'd say with some men, I don't know if it's the drive that's innate them, that they've just got to be on it all the time, you know? Yeah. And maybe with women, they've got more of that empathy, more that understanding, I don't know, that nurture nature type thing. Yeah. So they're
more of a compassion for others.
That's why I say compassion is so important. Just because you're compassionate doesn't mean that, you know, you have compassion.
It's essential that any boss, any leader can go back to the shop floor almost to find out what's going on, you know, because the vision or whatever it is they set up and they know often gets skewed by the time they're up there in the boardroom somewhere. Keep watching that, and as you say, you know, you can be pathological about being on it, but you can't, because then you're going to spread yourself so far.
Absolutely.
What do you think about sincerity, being honest? And speaking your mind.
I think there's a balance. Speaking your mind, being honest, but obviously you can't be insensitive. Can
the way
you
do it.
Yeah.
That delivery.
Is that part of what you teach people as well?
Language is so important. Isn't it?
Because language, you know, we can say things without even saying anything.
Body language, absolutely. Yes, totally.
Because there's some people that could just walk in a room and you just, you know, when I first met you, like, I want to give her a hug. Right, okay, isn't it? And then there's some people, it doesn't mean, I don't know, you probably tell on a psychologist.
I thought you were going to say, when you walked into the room to me, you get the hug, I get ignored.
No, I'm sitting in front of a psychologist here.
Like when we met earlier on, I said, give me a hug.
But you know, there's so many different things, would you say, that come into it to why you feel so comfortable with certain people, and there's so many psychological things as well. I mean, you can go really deep, but it is what it is. Yes.
Next, we'll be hearing from careers coach Neela Betteridge. Have a look.
It really requires courage. It requires the ability to be able to step into it. It requires also the ability to quieten your limiting beliefs, you know, those gremlins on your shoulder that tell you that you can't do stuff.
This program is brought to you by UCKG. This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Welcome back on today's show, Success Habits. We've been discussing what makes a person successful. To find out more, our team met with executive coach and business strategy mentor, Neela Betteridge. Check out what she had to say.
How I became an executive coach was a long, long journey. I actually started out in the communications industry many, many years ago. And I then ended up in the environmental and social areas. And I noticed in my work with very senior boards that there wasn't really good leadership. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to bring together everything that I knew in terms of communication and law and sustainability, etc., and actually be able to identify this with people and actually enable leaders to really do the best that they could in terms of some of the big issues that were happening. And so I went back to school. I went back and I retrained as an executive coach probably about 15 years ago, so that I could bring all my experience to bear, as well as the people element, the leadership element. And I've been operating in that arena for that period of time. So I do it one-to-one with people, but also in teams, and I also do global programs, not just with women, but the whole diversity issue, which I believe, you know, is really important for talent. The greatest obstacle I've had to overcome, I think, has been fear of failure. And so when I'm with people who have just taken on really huge jobs or about to take on something really huge, because I've been through that journey myself, I actually really understand it. And it really requires courage. It requires the ability to be able to step into it. It requires also the ability to quieten your limiting beliefs, you know, those gremlins on your shoulder that tell you that you can't do stuff. And actually try things in a different way that you may feel really uncomfortable with. So those have been sort of the biggest obstacles that I've had to face. I think in controlling one's own success, I think it's a 50-50 journey in my view. I've reflected very deeply on this. I think half of it is around really going for it in every single way, whether it's your skill, your attitude, your presence, and how you make opportunities come to you. But I think there is no doubt about it, there is a part of luck that also comes into play. So I think success is something you can place yourself for, but you know, for some of us it may never happen. But I think it's actually making the very best of yourself in every single way that you can that is actually important to success. Being a good leader is actually changing, and I think it's changing a lot because of where we are in the world today, and also what the millennial generation is requiring of their leaders. I think the old style hero leader is changing. And I think I'm seeing much more a call for the servant leader, and I mean that in the most respectful way. Not somebody who's woolly at all, but somebody who is able to actually take an enormous amount of different points of view, have vision of their own, be able to take a 24,000-foot perspective, but be respectful of other people's points of view. I think it's a very, very complex world that leaders live in today. And I think resilience, really being able to take multi-stakeholder viewpoints is a really important part of leadership. So I've worked right across the world, I've worked right across industries, and I've worked with junior women all the way to board level in FTSE companies. And what I see hold women back often is confidence. And secondly, not actually having a really clear idea of their vision and how they want to navigate their careers. And women also deal with conflict in a very different way to men. They don't particularly like it. And they also view politics that sometimes you have to play within organisations, you know, very dubiously. So how you actually do that as a woman is something I think you have to be very choiceful about. And successful women really make a plan around this stuff, and they go for it.
That was a very interesting video. Many comments she made I can identify with. I like the fact that when she spoke about, you know, coming out your comfort zone. Yeah. Because many times we are in a comfort zone, we like things in one particular way. You know, we don't want to step out, like, for example, starting your own business. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Many of us get comfortable in working for someone with that regular income. We know, you know, at the end of the month, we're going to collect this amount. So the risk of going into the unknown, of starting something new, a lot of people are quite fearful.
They are, no, totally. You know, I can speak from personal experience. You know, I went from working for many, many years with the NHS, where you get your regular pay packet, to being my own boss, which it's good, but it can be a bit scary. I spend a lot of time working out my monthly figures and thinking and trying to do projections and things. So,
but it's good. As she said, you know, having confidence as well. Mm-hmm. I like that, because many times, you know, we were talking earlier about insecurities that we have as women, and sometimes we are stuck in that sort of...
I think we have those insecurities probably more highly because we have so many responsibilities, don't we? You know, to have family and, you know, to ourselves, and kind of almost as well a little bit to other women, because it's like we want to show that you can do it.
Yeah. But we sometimes compete with ourselves and we compete
We
with
used
others.
about the comparison thing.
Yes.
Yeah, which can be unhelpful.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's good to aspire to look at somebody else's
Yeah.
success and say, hey, I really like what they've done.
Yes.
That means I can do the same myself.
Yeah.
But, you know.
As opposed to, I'm going to beat you at it.
Yes, exactly.
Which is a very kind of masculine trait, isn't it?
Yeah, you're not going to get the best results in that way.
No.
You might get short-term gain, but afterwards it will just make you so tired.
Yeah.
At the end of it, you know.
Yeah.
What are the points that you like that you brought up in the video?
Yeah. I mean, when she said about having the vision and having clarity, because I think...
Yeah, because you spoke about that earlier on.
We did.
Yeah. Yes.
And that could be wildly underestimated. People say, oh, everyone's thrown that word around.
Yeah.
Clarity. But you do actually need to be... If you don't know where you're going, what's happening?
That's it. You can just get bogged down with the every day, and then you find, oh, where am I?
Yeah.
Where's my goal?
Yeah.
What was my goal?
Yeah.
And they can change, and that's fine.
Yeah,
but you just really have to know where you're going and what is it.
And the courage to make that decision.
Yes, the courage, yes.
Well, everybody wants to make a success. Of course, you go into business because you want it to be successful, but you have to expect that, you know, not every single thing you do in your business is going to be successful, you know.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'd all be living in a fantasy land where we're all multimillionaires and everything's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was your experience for you in your business?
In my business, regarding, in a sense of moving forward and how I went to... I really, you do have to be a risk taker. And I just think I'm very passionate.
Yes.
And that passion does actually drive me forward. And it gives me lots of energy.
Do you find some of your clients find it a little bit, not intimidating, but you know, to have somebody that's so passionate and so with them that if they're not quite on board, say from the beginning, do they find that a little bit?
That's a really good question. I think they love it because they're coming underneath my wing. Does that make sense? Because
oh gosh, no, I'd like to be, absolutely. Get under that wing.
Yes.
No, we all need inspiration. We all need,
of course,
you know, experience and, you know, what you offer people. So, I could just imagine kind of being a little bit, oh no, you're so driven and you're so focused, and that could
work either way.
That's a really good question. I think, but it's about tuning in and really listening to that person, because at the end of the day, with coaching, it's non-directive. You really do listen and you help that person think for themselves as well, and that's powerful.
Yeah.
How
you
many
probably
times?
feel really good at the end of the day that you've helped someone.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I feel really invested in the people that and when they when they say I've done it, you know, I've done it.
Do you get lots of feedback?
I always do.
Oh, that's nice.
I do. I've driven it into it because it's important for me and for them to have that feedback, so we can keep reassessing.
Of course.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's amazing when you've got people on your side. And also somebody to be a soundboard, but also someone to be very real with you as well.
Yeah.
You know, not just a yes person.
Yes, I think that is so important.
Yeah?
That is so important, because many times you have people that just say things just to please you.
Yes,
exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
You know? Yes.
Reality check. Brian Morgan, Professor of Entrepreneurship at Cardiff Metropolitan University, researched the characteristics that makes a successful entrepreneur. Based on his findings, here is a test to see if you have what it takes. Okay, so ladies, how many of these statements are true?
Okay.
So, I don't like being told what to do by people who are less capable than I am.
True. Absolutely true.
True? Okay. I like challenging myself.
Yeah, to a point, yeah.
And what about you?
I like to challenge myself, but I think, as you say, to a point, it depends on this comfort zone thing, you know?
Yes, comfort zone, coming out that comfort zone. Okay, and what about I like to win?
Yeah, not the biggest.
Are you competitive?
Yeah, not particularly, no. I'm not. I don't know about you.
She is competitive. Look at that face.
I don't know. I've got to drive. I don't know what,
You're going to drive, but you're not that competitive. You don't want to win?
I do like to win.
You like to succeed.
I like to succeed.
Yeah. There's a difference, isn't there? Succeed.
Yes, there is a difference.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's an interesting one.
Another one. I like being my own boss.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. Yes. I like being my own boss.
Yes.
Yes, it's lots of benefits. I always look for new and better ways to do things.
Yeah, I think so. And I think you sometimes have to remind yourself because you get in that comfort zone and you need to sometimes shake it up a bit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I like to question conventional wisdom.
Again, sometimes, because it might not always be right, but then if something's worked, why reinvent the wheel?
True. What do you think?
I think it could be a bit of a falsy one. I'm not too sure that entrepreneurs will be running around saying, I want to question.
No,
I think that's a falsy.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to get people together in order to get things done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say that's true. I agree with that one.
Yeah,
I will try and remember that next time we have all the house to tidy up and I'm herding my cats, also known as children. Because you get one in one room and then another one disappears. Oh.
Yes, teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork is important.
Teamwork.
It's vital.
Okay. People get excited by my ideas. Excited.
Oh, I think that could be...
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes for you?
I mean, I get excited by my ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, and I might expect everybody else to. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure that you can honestly say
get it.
everybody's going to.
Yeah.
So that could be a false. That could be a false one.
Yeah, so what about I am rarely satisfied or complacent?
No, I wouldn't agree with that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think you have to take, it might not be your absolute 100% goal, but I think you've got to take what you're doing, getting somewhere, and take your satisfaction and your achievement from that.
I mean, if you say you're rarely satisfied, I mean, I think you'll probably be working by yourself, for yourself.
Yeah.
No clients.
Yeah.
Because you can't be running a business.
But you got to do something about it. You got to do something.
Yeah.
You can't just sit down there and say, "Oh, I'm not happy about whatever it is." You got to do something.
Yeah.
There's no extension other than that. That's a no answer.
Yeah.
That's a no future. That's our belief. Yeah.
Let's move on. I can't sit still.
That could be true. I'm thinking about somebody.
Well, I don't know. Again, it depends, doesn't it? Some people can sit still and can reflect, and then other people are just hyper and they're all over the place. So again, we need that balance.
Balance is important. I can usually work my way out of a difficult situation.
Yeah.
I think that's a good
skill. Yeah, I think I'd agree.
That's a powerful skill to be able to do that.
Isn't it?
Hey, what if your bank account is this amount and you have to buy food, you got to pay bills.
Yeah.
You find a way.
You have to. Yeah, no.
You make a way.
Yeah,
But that's what they say, we're women.
Yes.
We have this natural sort of instinct where we just make things happen. We do what we need to do. Get it done.
Exactly.
I would rather fail at my own thing than succeed at someone else's.
It depends.
There's quite a negative attachment to that, isn't it? I'd rather fail than let somebody else succeed. If you had that kind of attitude, then you'd probably, you'd be dragging everybody down.
Yeah. And it's funny how you heard it, because the way I heard it is there's somebody saying, you know what, I'd rather just be out doing work in my own business where I'm putting all my time and energy. As they say that, if you don't have a goalless life. A goalless life is a directionless life, If you don't have your own goals, you'll be fulfilling somebody else's.
Absolutely, yeah.
You see, so I think I heard it that way.
That's what we do when we work for somebody else.
No, absolutely, yeah. The perception of it is interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, whenever there is a problem, I am ready to jump right in. Is that you?
I think it is, but as I've got older, I kind of check myself sometimes. Yes, obviously certain situations, most situations you do, but sometimes you've got to just make sure you're not doing it out of a habit, because that's what's expected of you and you expect that of yourself. And also look at your motivations, and sometimes
your intentions.
Absolutely, the skill is to kind of go, I need to I'll be there, I'll look, I'll see if there's something I need to do, but just not get straight in there, because people don't learn other's, do they?
It's true, you do need to sit back and observe a bit before you go diving in.
Yeah.
You're diving into some fire there.
We live and we learn. So I think all dogs can learn, even invent new tricks. Do you think that's true?
I think there's potential in all people, shall we say? Yeah,
Yes.
not necessarily
If there's a lot of
dogs.
love for that dog will do something different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
There's this feeling.
that's good
we,
too. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we react to when you get love and support.
Yeah, then you feel things are possible, right?
Yes, of course. Okay, so members of my family run their own businesses.
Yeah.
Do you have members in your family?
Yes, yeah. My husband has done for many years. So yeah.
Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah.
And did you have anyone in your family that ran businesses?
My mum was very entrepreneurial.
Yes.
In her ways, actually.
It's a good role model there.
Yeah, she was a very good role model. My husband, he runs his own business as well, so he's entrepreneurial. So we're both like that in the home.
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I work after school and during vacations when I was growing up. Did you have that experience?
Yeah, I used to work all the time. Not always through choice. It was kind of necessity. But and then that can kind of be a bit, you know, not negative. It's good to work. It's good to achieve. It's good to kind of get your own little bits of money and stuff. But sometimes
so you've been working a long time.
Yeah, I should say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I do.
I get an adrenaline rush from selling things.
That's a.
Yeah.
Hey.
I think
Some people
I only.
do.
Yeah, I don't really sell things. I sell somebody.
You sell your service.
Yeah, or sell somebody their future or
Yeah.
the concept of a future. But yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't go with that one actually. Yeah, but I think that's a very unique sales
Yeah, I
thing.
think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Achieving results exhilarates me.
Yeah, I think we all like the positive feedback. Yeah,
I'd say that's a good one.
Yeah.
You feel great, don't you? You know, if
Yes.
if you-
Of course, you've done something, you've helped someone.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
If you answered yes on 17 or more of these questions, look at your paycheck. If you are lucky enough to still get one, if you don't own the company that issued the check, it is time for some soul searching.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think they were entirely yes or no answers.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
you know, I think there might be some people that kind of, you know, have yes or no answers and they can
In
take
between.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think it's a reflective exercise.
Yes.
It's a thinking
It gets
exercise.
you thinking.
Yeah.
It definitely gets you thinking. Okay, so we're going to take a short break, ladies. But don't go away, viewers. We'll be back with more on success habits. Here's a sneak peek of what's coming up after the break.
Sometimes you can get you become somebody's mum or you become somebody's husband or you're somebody's carer or something like that.
Yes.
I think it's it's a valuable way of holding on to identity.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's why some people get so attached and so passionate about what they do because it's actually part of them.
This program is brought to you by UCKG. This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Welcome back. Today's topic is success habits. Our team went to meet some inspiring ladies at a women's expo to hear some success stories. Take a look.
I was inspired by the amazing women that I meet every day, and I was able to hear their stories, the challenges that they face, and the struggles of how they overcome it. So I said to myself, it's important for us to help these women, empower them, and do a celebration event to be able to bring them together.
I'm actually a life coach. So what I do is I work with women, primarily parents, who either they've never worked before or they have long gaps in their CV, or executives who are thinking of changing career. And the idea is for most women who've given their lives to looking after their children and things like that, it's the question of, how about you? What are you doing? What are your dreams and aspirations? So using the life coaching methodology, say, draw from yourself. what exactly, apart from being a mum or wife or whatever, what would you want to do for yourself?
I'm one of the local councillors, and I felt it was very important for me to be here. Part of my work is how the council deals with people who are vulnerable, and a lot of that means working with women and families. I think if you empower a woman, you empower a whole family, and that's so important. Women are usually at the hub of their families, and they affect everybody.
I'm here mainly to talk about my book, so I talk and I speak and write about confidence and how to build confidence in women. I want to empower women. I believe each of us is born with a gift, something we were given, and our job is to figure out what that is and then do everything we can to make it work. So I was excited to come and be surrounded by like-minded people who believed what I believed.
It's really important, especially we're focusing on women today. I have a passion about developing women, so I've created a program called Conversation Cafes for Newham, which means to develop, engage, empower and support. So they're held in the borough on a monthly basis. We have a women's support officer, and her role is to support women. So what we do is, in an informal way, we have a coffee, a biscuit, talk about things what matter to women and find out what sort of support they need.
I'm here to celebrate with lots of women who are talking about stories, about problems they've had and that they've overcome, and I have been part of arranging the speakers and calling them forward, which I absolutely love doing. I hope today that people will be able to network with each other, able to partnership in business, and also be able to get the support and help that they need. The secret to successful career is basically consistency. You've got to be consistent in everything that you do. You've got to do your follow-ups, make sure that you are getting all your information and making sure that you are basically following up. Be consistent. If you're going to start a project, start the project. Stop procrastinating. Do it today, not tomorrow, because tomorrow might be too late. So be consistent, go for it, keep on being your own leader and cheer yourself on.
What habits, ladies, do you believe makes us successful?
I think, personally, I think goal-orientated, I said, bit of flexibility. I think that's really important, because if you're too driven, you don't see what else is going on, and ability to stick to something. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Really,
consistency.
Yeah. And you know,
be committed.
Yeah.
Because many times we start things and we don't finish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally.
I'd say I call it the 3 Ds. You've got to be determined. You've got to make that decision.
Yes.
Yeah. And also you've got to have that drive.
Yeah. I like
drive,
it.
determination, and you've always got to be making really good sort out decisions.
Yeah.
And I find that those people that, you know, when you make that decision, that's half, you know, people say I want to release weight or lose weight.
Yeah.
I want to start a business, get a new job.
Yeah.
But people can talk about it you could talk about something for 10, 15 years, right?
Totally, and the rest. Yeah.
Okay. But when you make that decision and then coupled with that, you've got that drive and determination, I think it's going to give you some tools to get there.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people are scared to kind of tell everybody that's what they're doing because they don't want then somebody saying...
Steal their ideas.
Well, steal their ideas, but also 6 months down the line, somebody says, oh, how's your business going? And you haven't got... So, and again, there's a balance about being accountable, isn't there?
Yes.
You know, ultimately you're only accountable to yourself and your success, but I think and that's where I think, you know, businesses like yours come along, because that gives the focus. Of what, of what
being
we're
responsible.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. No,
someone to hold you responsible as well, because when you have a coach, I've got a coach as well, and she holds me responsible. And but not in a punishing way.
No, that's the balance.
So you have an accountant as well.
I have an accountant and I have a coach.
So your accountant is the punishing one. And your coach is
That's the one I don't speak to so often.
So it's the good one, it's the bad one.
Those qualities are really, I think, important in being successful. because you've given your stories, your examples, you know, the journey that you've been on.
Yeah.
And you can see, you know, you can be successful in any stage of life.
Of course.
You don't need to be like a youth to be successful or to be elderly, you know, then to be at any stage in life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just have to be determined.
And I think as well, just not being in those boxes. Yeah, okay. There's certain things that go with young entrepreneurs, there's certain things that go with kind of middle-aged ones, there's certain things that go with, you know, people that are starting up their own businesses,
there's
you know,
room for
60 plus.
everyone. We all have something different to offer.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's not just a job or just a business. It's actually, I feel like that. Do you feel, you know?
Of course, of course. I think you know, you need to have passion. You need to enjoy what you're doing.
Definitely.
Else you just be okay today and then, you know, we get emotional.
Yeah, and next thing you know,
you get emotional.
It's like, tomorrow, no, I'm not doing this again. I give up.
No. But you know you're going to get back up again.
Yes, you have to. You must.
Yeah. Well, it's all about, you know, when we in psychology, we talk about development and global development and things, and you always think you associate it with children. But, okay, so at 21 or so, the actual brains stop getting bigger, but there's a plasticity to the brain that just keeps going on. And part of that is your development, is your personality, is kind of thinking, actually, I'm not going to be a slave to the 9 to 5 anymore. I'm going to kind of, you know, and that's why programs like, say, for instance, Dragon's Den is so popular because we all like to watch people kind of doing something different. It really is inspiring.
Yes.
You know, it's laughable, some of the things, but, you know, that's the idea of entertainment.
But it's good. It's good to see their journey as well.
Totally.
I sometimes look at some of the people that are on the show. Afterwards, you hear stories of how successful they are. And some of them, the failures, some of the mistakes they have made in business. So with everything, we can all learn.
Life, you're always learning. You know. And I've got a saying that when the day you stop learning, start picking your psalms, you know. Your songs, it's exit song. Because we're always learning. It never stops.
No.
It never stops.
And for me, I think it's also to just be humble, to recognize, you know, because sometimes someone can say, oh, you can add this to your business, you can do something, and be like, no, you're sort of defensive. So it's also being open-minded as well.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you can see that there's merits in things, and then maybe, you know, but just, you know, understanding that other people have, you know, because they do things that you can't see because you're so focused when it comes to any success.
Sometimes, you know, you just focus, but others are wrong you. Like, you know, your close business associates or even family,
anybody,
they can see, you know, probably, you know, taking care of yourself. You need to take better care of your children, your husband, having that balance.
You have to look after yourself in your business. I mean, you have to look after yourself. Whatever you do, take care of your mental health, as you mentioned earlier, when you're passionate for that. You mentioned it as well.
You know, mental, physical, everything.
And have
everything.
those sometimes have those checklists to kind of go. Actually, maybe I need to, you know, there's something not quite right here. What do what's the thing I did last time that helped before? In just reminding yourself.
Yes, because when you don't have that balance, something tends to suffer.
It does.
And ultimately it's usually the person.
Yes. The cost to the self.
So today's topic, success habits. We've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from you ladies.
We've learned a lot from you.
So thank you so much for coming on the show. I was just thinking, you know, success habits, you know, it starts with you.
It can only start with you.
Yes. And as you said, you know, having a clear goal, a clear vision, and work towards it. Don't give up. It's hard work, but we got to keep persevering. You got to take risk. You got to be committed, courageous in taking bold steps, you know, and prepare and plan.
And be flexible because
be flexible.
Your goal might take a complete, you know,
something you might plan to do things this way, but it takes another turn.
Don't worry if things don't go the way you intended them to go. Just get back up again.
That's it.
Determination and drive keep you going.
Definitely. Successful people embrace change, while unsuccessful people fail. You have heard our thoughts, so tell us your thoughts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or by emailing comments@dkw.me. Join us next week for another exciting episode of DKW. Until then, it's goodbye.
This programme is brought to you by UCKG.